Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at a book I recently read, Small Businesses, Big Opportunity. That's backwards. Anyways, this book is interesting and I was just hoping I could give you an idea of whether it's worth reading for you or not. Getting into the source. The first thing this book covers is different types of business owners. This was a really interesting part of the book. Funnily enough, it's not actually written by the book authors. It's from a book called E-Myth, and it proposes or posits, whatever you want to say, that there are three types of business owners. The first business owner talked about in this book is the technician. The idea behind the technician is that they love the work and they're really passionate about their goal, but they haven't really built up the systems and it's kind of hard for their business to progress because of that. The other idea presented was the manager, who is kind of the opposite. They have the good systems, but they're basically just self-employed because they're not really having fun with it. They're just trying to make money. The third business owner presented was the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is basically a combination of the positives of the last two, in where they have a clear vision and they build up the systems necessary, but they never let those important systems precede their vision. So they're always having fun, but they also have their priorities straight. The book also covers some interesting ideas behind marketing rules. One particular rule I liked was the 80-20 rule. This rule suggests that 80% of your profits should come from 20% of your customers. The reason I thought this rule was particularly interesting was because I feel like it really intertwined well with some of the midway chapters in the book. Because a lot of them talk about how you should not be afraid to invest money in your business and your customers. An example is sending a gift to your customer, or maybe if you've got a more high market target, you might send them a $500 bottle of brandy in hopes to get a new customer. The book also suggests some really interesting stuff about personal image and branding, covering the idea that you should basically put your brand everywhere. And it's a very simple thing, but when it's mentioned to you in a book, I feel like you really recognize how often companies use this, whether it's Apple or your local department store. It is everywhere. And of course, it wouldn't be a marketing book if it didn't cover several ways to market. More specifically, I think there are at least 30 or more different platforms and suggestions as to how you can promote your business. My particular favorite was SEO marketing, search engine optimization. I particularly liked this one because I thought it was very relevant to YouTube, as the idea behind it is basically using sort of niche words or words that are very specific to your subject, so when someone's searching for that, you'll be the first one to pop up. Let's go over the pros. First of all, I think this book has given me a very valuable foundational level of what sort of ways I can market myself if I were to start a new business, and has explored some really interesting topics like SEO marketing. I also thought it was a very well-researched book in the way that, although it's targeted towards small business owners specifically, I think a lot of regular people can gain some value about it. Whether it be because they know what business owners do to sell them products, and that could help them be slightly more frugal, or if they themselves want to start a small business. In my case, the latter option kind of applies. Now let's talk about the cons. First of all, this book could be quite monotone at times. Overall, I wouldn't say the writing style was boring, but there were points where I was finding it a bit hard to continue reading. Second of all, some of the chapters were so out of date, man. There was, I think, chapter 17, the longest chapter in the book, about 30 pages, was all about how revolutionary the internet was going to be and how people should start thinking about using it as a marketing product. We know where that went. So they weren't wrong, and it's a good prediction, but reading it in the moment and in the future was pretty jarring. Those who know me know that I like to finish on a positive. So I'm going to tell you that while there were some cons and it was a bit hard to read the book, I think this book is a very valuable read. And if you're interested in things like marketing and you haven't already read every book under the sun about it, like Tool Scoreboard Marketing or the E-Myth or the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, all books I'm in the progress of reading, then it's definitely worth a read. Howdy hey, if you're still listening to this video, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And feel free to leave in the comments whether or not you might check this book out. And please subscribe and like the video. Bye. This book is interesting.